Hey, ho, well, good evening. That's a good start to the evening, isn't it? Please put some welcome first. Yeah, welcome first. And goodbye will be last, obviously. Welcome first. And there's a little, you can put some comments in wherever you are, Facebook or YouTube. You can ask Andrew some questions. And the Andrew I am speaking about is Andrew Ricks, that very same hairy bass guitarist you saw in that film. Good evening, Andrew.
Hello, Brad.
You're there.
Not quite so hairy now.
Yeah, hey, look, a lot of hair's gone down the plug hole. In those days, I can tell you. I mean, that's me now. Hey,
yeah.
This is not all about me, you know. You know that's not all about me. But hey, look, hang on, see if I can get this one. Hey, just to get a bit of proof. There's not a lot of hair, but look at this. Hang on. There's a mullet and a moustache. Can you see that?
No, can't see that.
Can't you? Why not?
No, I can just see you.
Oh, hang on.
There you go.
There you go. Look, there's me.
Yeah. Great.
And it used to be longer than that. Anyway, it's not all about me.
We've all been there.
We have, yeah. Better to have had hair and lost than never to have had hair at all. That's what I say.
That's it, exactly. So,
we've met on a number of occasions, and we
have.
Have we done any filming together? When you was
a long time ago.
Yeah,
probably about 20, 25 years ago.
Oh, yeah, I was only about 15, I suppose.
Yeah.
That would have been with Rosemary, would it? Rosemary Hill?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
Rosemary
the OU.
Hill.
We did some filming of some sort there.
Yeah.
Awesome
that's
recording. Right. Yeah. What I ask, one of the things to start with normally is, where your musical background comes from. When you started listening to music, what was the first record you ever bought? What was the first record, if you can remember that far back? Most people can.
I can. Well, the first record I ever bought was "Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting" by Elton John.
Oh,
But rather embarrassingly, the first record I ever had bought for me was "My Boomerang Won't Come Back" by
Charlie Drake.
Charlie Drake.
Yes.
Yes.
Of course,
But
Charlie Drake.
I'll stick with Elton John. That's a better first record.
I think you got more credibility and street cred with Charlie Drake, to be honest. Oh yes, yeah. My first record was "Little White Ball" by Tommy Steele.
Yeah. Yeah,
And then
I remember it well.
well, it wasn't, as I said on previous ones. It wasn't the original, because I got the ones from Woolworths where they were false ones. They were
All right.
cover bands like we've got now. Who did the records, and they were sort of half the price of a
Yeah.
proper single. And the second
Called
one was
Sounds Like or something. Then,
yeah,
weren't
that's
they?
it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Embassy Records, and
Yeah.
my second one was "My Old Man's a Dustman," Lonnie Donegan.
Yeah. No, I'll stick with Elton John.
Yeah, I
That's
think.
cooler. Yeah.
So that's really my musical background. On to you now. So after you've bought your Elton John record, was you musical yourself before that?
Not really. No. Not at all. In fact, we had a piano in the house that both my parents could vaguely play, but they never did. So I'd had a little tinkle on the piano occasionally, but I wouldn't say that any of us were musical at that point. I did try a few instruments. I tried a guitar and I tried an oboe, and I couldn't really get on with any of them. Really.
Oboe.
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 Yes, that was at
Okay.
school.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Wasn't some random thing
Yeah.
you went to a music shop and say, "I'll try."
No,
that."
no.
Okay. Yeah.
No, and then that was a mistake as well, because when they asked what I wanted to play, I thought an oboe was a big brass instrument. So, so I said, I'll do the oboe,
Ooh,
and they gave me this wooden thing
Stick.
with horrible reeds that slash your lips to pieces.
yeah.
So that didn't last long.
So when did you decide that you could? Did you go for the guitar for a while and play? You didn't do much with the ordinary guitar. Was it an acoustic? I assume it was acoustic guitar then, was it?
Yeah, I bought. Well, I had bought for me a guitar when I was probably about 11 or 12, and I didn't really get on with it. It always hurt my fingers too much, and in fact, the one that was bought for me, the tailpiece split, which was quite good really, because it gave us an excuse to send it back. But I don't think I would have got on very well with it at all. I didn't really like it, and I didn't do anything else then until I was about 14. So I'm a late starter.
So did you sort of was you picking up a musical influence by this time which
Yeah,
brought out
well,
the bass kind of thing?
it was 4 notes that told me what I wanted to play. I was at a friend's, because in those days, I don't know if you were the same, but we all used to build our own hi-fi systems then. And a friend of mine had just completed building his, so I went round to hear it. And he'd got this record that I hadn't heard before by a band that I'd vaguely heard of called Yes.
Mhm.
And he played a track called Yours Is No Disgrace. And there are 4 notes sort of halfway through that song. And when I heard those 4 notes, I thought, that's the sound that I want to make. Now all I have to do is find out how it's done. And that was how I really discovered the bass. I think up until then, the bass hadn't really been particularly prominent in my mind. I mean, most bass players just thumped around in the background, but I think Chris Squire was one of the first that really brought the bass out into the foreground.
Yeah.
And that was what really got me into it.
So I guess the next step was to buy a bass guitar.
Yeah.
But you can't just buy a bass guitar, can you? Because, well, I suppose you can, but you're not going to hear much. Did
No.
the amplifier thing come with it? Was this the deal?
Well, I mean, I was only 14, so I didn't have much money.
No.
And my parents, well, they didn't have much money either, but they had no idea how much time and effort I was going to put into this new instrument. I'd given up everything else, so they were a bit reluctant to spend too much money on it as well. So what I actually sold, I had an air rifle, I sold that at the local second-hand shop
Mm.
and managed to get the money together to buy I think it was £39 from Woolies in Norwich, my first bass guitar. And I made the first amplifier out of an old record player. One of those, the ones with the lid that opened with a speaker on the front. That was my yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So I made the first amplifier out of that, and that was it. I didn't look back then. I saved every penny I got until I could afford an actual amplifier. I can't remember I think it might have been something odd like a Laney or something.
Mm.
Proper bass amplifiers were really expensive and also about 6 feet tall in those days. So this was just a little combo amp. But
it's amazing because the expectation these days, you get a 14-year-old who wants to play guitar, he wants a Marshall rig or something like that. I mean, I'm the same as you. I didn't have an air gun. My parents, no. But kids, I mean, you can't imagine kids. I can't imagine my grandson. He's 15 rather. I can't imagine him with an air gun. Nor can the police, for that matter. Yeah.
No. Well, yeah. I mean, things were different then. I've come from Norfolk, of course, so air guns were quite common. I mean, I used to carry. I had a great big sheath knife on me belt most of the time when I was 14 as well.
You're from Norfolk, aren't you?
Yeah.
Give me 6.
I mean, these days I would have been locked up if I
missed that one.
But, sorry, what did you say?
I said you're from Norfolk. Yeah, give me 6.
Oh, very good. Yeah, it's very good. I think I can do it. There we go.
So, but I was the same as you, exactly the same with as far as the amplifier is concerned. My dad used to work for EMI at some point. He also worked for Musing, but he brought home this. We had this bloody great thing called a wire recorder, and it was like a tape recorder, but it was with wire, and it had an input in it. And I got an electric guitar. Well, it was an old Hofner President, and because my dad brought it from work, and he put pickups that you put on it, bolt onto it, and I used to plug it into this bloody thing. But you did though. I mean, of course. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was wonderful, and you do at the time, don't you?
Yeah, well, so did I. I had no idea about amplification in those days. I knew that I needed one because the guitar didn't make much noise on its own.
No,
but I didn't know anything about it. But no, it was good enough for me to learn the basics on.
And did you team up with some of your peers and start playing your favourite Yes songs in those days?
Well, I think it was a while before I could play a Yes song. But there was I was 14. There was a guy across the road who was about a year or so younger than me, who just started playing the drums. So obviously he was dragged in. And then my poor younger brother, who was, I think, only about 7 or 8 at the time, he was press ganged into it as well. He'd actually shown a little bit more interest in the piano when he was younger, so he was dragged in and told he was going to be the keyboard player. And he first started with the xylophone. So it was xylophone, bass and drums was the first band.
Oh, xylophone. You don't have xylophones these days, do you?
No, actually you do. Yeah, they've re-released it. They've re-released it. Yeah, you can buy it. Sorry, I'm talking a load of nonsense. Not a xylophone, a stylophone.
Oh, the Rolf Harris thingy.
The little electronic keyboard thing. Stylophone.
Yeah, slightly different, but I can see where you're going.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was what we had, and then Adrian, my brother, progressed up to a little electronic keyboard, and we were off. That was the beginning of the rest of my life, really. Yes.
What year was this then, Andrew?
1970-ish.
Oh, okay.
71, something like that.
Yes, because I have a few years on you, don't I?
Only a few.
Yeah, only a few. I mean, 1970, I was hitchhiking around Europe. So,
right. Okay. No, I was still well into school.
Yeah. Wow. And then I noticed that your first live performance was with a band made up of entertainment staff while you was working as a photographer at a holiday camp.
Yeah,
Holiday camp.
yeah, yeah. I got a summer job at a holiday camp as the official photographer,
Great
taking
Yarmouth.
pictures of all the. No, no. It was a place called Gunton Hall near
Oh,
Lowestoft.
yeah, I know it. My father-in-law lives in
Um,
Lowestoft.
yeah,
Mm.
it was a nice place actually. It was good, great fun, a brilliant
Mm.
6 months or so that I worked there, and all the entertainments team there every week they would make up this kind of band, you could call it
Oh
loosely.
dear.
None of them could really play. There was a really good keyboard player, played the piano, and and one of the guys was a country and western singer, so he could play the guitar and sing. But everybody else joined in, and we played all sorts of nonsense. And they found out that I'd got a bass, so
Oh, well, you're in.
I took that over as well. Well, actually, no, I actually bought my first proper one then for that to play there. I bought a Shergold Marathon from Yarmouth. That was my first proper bass, proper long scale bass,
Yeah.
and that was great fun. We played all summer through that, and then the guy who was a country and western singer said, "Why don't we form a band?" So then we formed a country and western band, which was okay. That was good fun.
How
We
how
got a
how
sorry?
sort of how much country and western were you in that particular band then? Was it a full on yeehaw
Yeah.
country? Oh,
Oh yeah, it was
excellent.
not so much yeehaw, the sort of darker stuff. The
Oh, darker.
we had guitar, bass, and steel guitar. No drums to start with. We got drums later on, but that was good. We played around all the pubs around Norfolk and Suffolk coastline for a year or so. It's great fun.
And then I'm reading your biography there. You came second in Marlborough Country
Yeah,
and Western. Is that
yeah,
Marlborough cigarettes?
yeah. It
Yeah.
is. Yeah, they. I don't know if they still do, but in those days they had an annual country and western competition, and there was loads of bands. I think it was somewhere in Yarmouth or somewhere on the coast, and we came second to the Hank Wangford band,
Because there is a
who's
Wangford in.
still going, I think.
Yeah, is he really? There was a
I
Wangford
think
in.
so.
Didn't he take his name from? Is that he was a doctor or something from Norfolk? Where was he?
Yeah, yeah,
There's a village called Wangford, isn't there, in Norfolk?
yeah. There is. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. You must be getting on a bit now
Oh,
because
blimey,
this was 77,
yeah.
and he was the leader of the band then, so he must be getting on a bit now. But he's still playing, I think.
He was quite popular at one point, wasn't he?
Yeah,
I seem
yeah,
to
very popular.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then after that, you started your own band called Rocco with your brother. Adrian.
Yep, that's right. We when I got a bit fed up with playing the country and western, decided it would be good fun. Well, we started the band at home with my brother and a few other friends anyway, and then we started actually gigging a bit later, and so I packed up the country and western band and just played the covers, and we were playing all kinds of stuff, Blondie and Stranglers and all sorts of things.
Ah. And then
But,
there was a fair bit of touring with that, or sort of playing around the gigs around it. Was it mainly in the sort of Norwich and that sort of
it
area?
was, Roco, I should imagine, played only in Norwich, I think. I don't think we ever strayed outside Norwich. But in those days, there were loads of venues there, so you could play, well, if you could get booked in, you could play several times a week in different places and not repeat it quite
Yeah.
often. There was lots
Yeah.
of pubs had bands and clubs, and the Working Men's Social Club, we played
Oh,
there. They got us in once, and he liked us and booked us 18 times over the next 12 months, so
great stuff.
couldn't have been too bad.
What did you think? What do you think of your band? Were you any good? Did you think
Well,
you were good?
I thought we were at the time.
Who
We
was
probably
who was singing?
dreadful.
Was your brother singing, or you
No,
singing?
Jude, who you know,
Oh,
you know
yeah.
Jude.
Oh, she was in
She
Rocco
was
as
a
well.
singer.
Oh, okay.
She was the original singer. Yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. It's been. I mean, that was the start of all the musical things, which are still carrying on pretty much with the same lineup. We've had a change of drummers that's about all. Up until 2 years ago, my brother was still playing, and Jude was still singing, and Carl, the guitarist that we first started performing with Rocco, he's still playing with us even now.
So Rocco developed into well, not just ground. What you called before?
It was Ground Zero. Yeah,
Ground Zero,
we started playing original music rather than covers, and we wanted to have a kind of image change from a covers band into an original music band, so we changed the name as well, and we became Ground Zero, playing mostly original stuff. We'd play a few other things, sort of Hawkwind and Black Sabbath and occasional Stranglers, I think. It slowly got replaced with original music as we went along.
So was this you in those days?
Yes. Actually, I think that's. I think we were probably Underground Zero by then. That's a bit later. Yeah, that was that's Stonehenge. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
On the pyramid stage at Stonehenge.
Because I couldn't find any. I don't think I've got any pictures of you in the early Underground Zero or just Ground Zero.
There aren't. I don't think there are any in the public domain. All the ones that you've got, I think, are probably from the Underground Zero website. So
yes, they are. Yeah,
I don't think they go back before the Underground Zero days.
Ah.
They start when we put the under in front of the ground.
What was the reason for that? Had somebody else got the name already, or what was it?
Yeah, well, we found out there were at least 3 other bands with the same name. And there was a rumour that I think Toyah Wilcox was actually forming a band with the same name, so we thought we'd change. And it did actually cause us a bit of trouble a couple of times, where people phoned up wanting to book us and then discovered that we weren't the band that they thought they were booking. That they thought they were booking a ska band or something, and so we decided to change our name.
Well, we had similar thing with Kobold. People phoned up thinking they were booking a talented band. And when
oh, they were. They were.
Yeah. No,
I've seen you.
Yeah, okay.
Many times.
Oh. And so then you changed your name to Underground Zero to avoid all that controversy stuff. Yeah. And then it was a full pelt, I guess. And hang on.
Yeah.
Let's have a look what we've got. I'm trying to find sort of an earlier. We showed the Anglia one. What's this one? Is that a more modern one? The recording?
Well, no, it's not more modern. That was one of the first recordings we ever made.
Oh.
So that was our first single, actually, the A side of our first single.
Oh, I'll play it more then. Hang on. Oh, lyrics as well. Everybody singing. Disintegration. They're more modern pictures, although the recording is older. They're more modern pictures, aren't they?
Yeah. We put these videos out just recently. It's the last few weeks actually, because there's been lots of questions about what the lyrics were. So we decided to put out the whole lot, all our kind of back catalogue with the lyrics on. So
okay. Look at Paul there.
Paul, one of our guitarists, Paul.
Paul
put them together. He found loads of old photos and made some lyric videos.
Wonderful. So who was in the band then? What's the? Look, who's that fresh-faced youngster there?
That's also from Stonehenge. That's Sean, our drummer.
Some young boy from the audience.
Yeah. Well, when he first joined the band, he was 14.
Ah.
I think he thought he'd made it because he was 14 years old. We needed a new drummer, and our guitarist's brother was being our manager, and his son, Sean, was a drummer, 14-year-old drummer, and he was playing in a local band as well, and he suggested we go along and see him play and ask if he wanted to join. So we went and saw him, and he was very, very good. Even at 14, he was very good.
He didn't have so many drums in those days, did he?
No, not quite so many, no. But he thought he had it made because he joined us, and then a few weeks later, within the first year, we got asked to record a session down at Maida Vale for the Tommy Vance rock show. Yeah. We played at Stonehenge. He got sponsorship from Staccato Drums.
There you go.
Mick Jagger's brother, Chris Jagger, had a company that made Staccato drums. Have you seen them? They're weird fiberglass shaped things. No. They were actually in the first video that you played. Okay. So he thought he'd made the big time. Unfortunately, it never went much further than that. But,
but you know.
Yeah, it was good fun. Yeah, but he was 14 when we first started playing.
And that's you at Stonehenge in a very, very Spinal Tap moment.
Yes. Yeah, except ours were the full-size ones.
Yes, the proper ones. Yeah, you say that. I've only got your
really? That was a green screen, really.
Yes. So that so the band then was practically the same band that went on for quite a long time until you started.
Still, it's in effect still going.
Yeah, but the band's still going. But you've got different. Slightly, I know Sean still plays. You still play, and what other members are still with the band now?
Well, there's Jude Merriweather, who you know. She's the singer.
I do.
Paul Holden
is
one of the guitarists. That's Jude. Yeah. Paul Holden is one of the guitarists. He's from Norwich as well, and still lives just outside Norwich. Carl Dawson was the other guitarist. He was the original guitarist from the Rocco days. He's still with us. And my brother Adrian on keyboards.
Oh. And how many years is that now?
I think, Paul was the last, Sean was the last person to join us in 83, I think it was.
83. Played, Ground Zero started in 81. So that's a long time ago, isn't it? 40 years. Is it 40 years?
Yeah, 40 years, yeah.
Man alive.
With the same lineup, pretty much. We have had slight changes. Paul left for a year, and we had another guitarist play with us for a year. And then Adrian left for a while, and we had a guy called Bob, also from Norwich, play keyboards on the last few gigs that we played. So, but most of that 40 years has been the same lineup. Not many bands can say that, I don't think, apart from Status Quo.
And do you get on? just
great.
A thought. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's great. I don't think we've ever fallen out. I know most bands do have arguments about things, but I don't think we ever have. No, it's been wonderful.
I think we've only relatively short time, our little band, and but it's just a pleasure. It's just a pleasure to play. They're such lovely people, and we had a rehearsal last week in a studio. My friend Mike Crofts, he's got a studio in Stukely, and if you ever want to use it, it's fantastic. Great studio.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh right. Yeah, so, you'll have to give me the address.
Yeah, I will. And and we just rehearsed in there and recorded. You might have seen some on Facebook. We recorded the whole thing.
Right.
Just set a camera up, left it running, and then put everything through the mixer, and then recorded it, and then I put it together with the video. But it was
that's the one with the three of you sitting
sitting in a circle
in the end of the room. Yeah, I have seen that.
It's not very dynamic, let's be honest. But it was only a rehearsal. we weren't leaping around. We don't leap around anyway. But that's pretty. Actually, thinking about it, that pretty much sums up our gigs. three of us sitting in a row, 3 old boys. But it was lovely, and we hadn't been together for a year, so it's just really great.
Yeah, it's been really difficult year.
And I guess it's the same for you, though, isn't it? It's, when you get together, it's just great. You're playing, you're doing what you enjoy.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't been together with Underground Zero now since before the pandemic struck. I think with our last gig was 2019, and I haven't seen all of them together since then. But we still talk on the internet, social media, and phones, all the modern ways, because we're scattered all over the place. I mean, there's some of them are, I think actually only 2 of them are still in Norfolk. One in Milton Keynes. I'm up near Rugby, and Carl, the guitarist, he spends most of his time out of the country, so it's actually quite difficult for us to get together.
Is he on the run or something?
He might be now. No, he's got a job that takes him out of the country a lot. In fact, once when we had a gig, one of the last few, probably 2017 or 2018, around that point, he was actually in India. He flew all the way from India to England, booked into a hotel, got up the next day, played the gig, back into the hotel, and then the next day flew back to India again.
Blimey. That's dedication for you.
Yes.
Goodness.
Yeah. Well, we had the gig, so we had to do it.
So when you moved on then to you had a track on Hawkwind's album. They were obviously very big fans of yours, weren't they?
Well, you could use those words maybe in a different order, but yes.
Okay. Well, if you're on their album, it's got to.
Well, yeah. No, we how that happened was we had various gigs, like the Anglia for Africa one that you saw at the beginning. We had another one a year or so later, and we'd heard that Nick Turner was going to be the saxophonist from Hawkwind. We heard he was going to be there, so we asked him if he'd come and play with us. And he did. So, and we actually we played a couple of Hawkwind songs, and he sung them and played his saxophone in them. And that was recorded, and we sent a recording of that gig to Brian Torn, who runs the Hawkwind fan club. He still does run the Hawkwind fan club now, and he really liked it and passed it on to Dave Brock in Hawkwind. He liked it too, and asked us if we'd like to put a track on there next. That they used to release compilation records of bits of Hawkwind, stuff that various members of Hawkwind had done on their own or with other bands, and also other bands that were sort of vaguely associated. So they asked us if we'd put a track on it, and so we did.
Yeah.
And that was the start of our relationship with Hawkwind.
And here's Nick Turner with Jude.
Yeah, there he is.
Where was this then?
That was at a festival called Sonic Rock Solstice, which was, I think, over in Shropshire somewhere.
Okay.
Probably about 2015 or 16.
Yeah. Sonic Rock Solstice.
Yeah.
I think I've got a... Wait a minute. I don't know. I've got plenty of Hawkwind posters. I don't think I've got that one. No.
Maybe there isn't one there.
No. Yeah, that could be it, yes.
Yeah.
And then you got signed to Flick Knife Records.
Yeah, well, we'd done some recording. We were asked to do a session with Tommy Vance, the Friday Night Rock Show, which we'd done, and we the original plan was we were going to record some more songs and use the BBC recordings with the new recordings and make our first album. So we went to Spacewood Studios and recorded the rest of the tracks. But then the Musicians Union, for some reason or other, refused to let us use the BBC tracks on our album. So we had to scratch around and find another way of recording them. And in the process, Frenchie, who ran a Flick Knife Records, which was kind of associated to Hawkwind in those days, offered to put the album out. So our first album went out on Flick Knife Records. And I think he's released now 2 or 3 of our albums, plus several compilations as well. So he's a good chap. Saw him fairly recently as well.
And I've got this as well. Hang on, let's just. Did you play here?
Marquee. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, we played there. Yeah.
What year would that have been? I'm just trying to get some. 1984.
85, 4, something like that. Yeah.
Is that before you built your own studio?
Yeah, we were supporting the Hugh Lloyd Langton band there. Hugh Lloyd Langton was a guitarist from Hawkwind.
Oh, okay.
And he had his own band called the Hugh Lloyd Langton Band, and we supported them there. We nearly headlined because we got there, and normally when you're playing those sort of gigs, obviously the headline band go in and set up all their gear, and then the support band go in and set up in front of all their kit. But it got to the point where they were about to open the doors, and Hugh Lloyd Langton and his band hadn't turned up. So the organisers said, "Well, get on stage quick." So we quickly put all our stuff on, and we were just about to go on and play, and Hugh and all the rest of his band turned up. So they had to get all their stuff in on top of ours, with people having already come in. It was a bit of a mess, really, but it was a good night anyway. Really good night.
Oh,
met Lemmy there that night. That was good fun.
Wow. Yes, I mean, that you've had a good brush with I wouldn't fame or fortune, not fortune, but you've
not
had,
fortune.
Yes, I know you. But it's nice when you've got an environment that you're happy and you're working with, and it's your scene, if you like, and you get to meet your peers, and generally speaking, they're all your idols. They're pretty much the same as you, aren't they? They're not. That's what I've found in the past, and people have the same when they meet me. It's.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of rubbish spoken about musicians. I know there have been some quite interesting musicians like Ozzy Osbourne, for example, but I think most musicians, I mean, you have to be pretty dedicated to learn to play an instrument.
Yeah.
So you can't be too mad, really. Not to start with. I know a lot of people in the past have got into trouble with drugs and things later on in life, but you have to have a lot of dedication for the first few years just to learn to play the thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And certainly, I think certainly all the professional musicians I've ever met have all been really nice people.
Yeah, I agree.
Lemmy himself I think he's quite well known for being a really nice
guy.
bloke.
Yeah.
But he's a really nice bloke.
Yeah,
he's great. Really intelligent, sensible guy, believe it or not.
So was this at your first record?
That's at BBC, Maida Vale.
Okay. Yeah.
The guy sitting on the left there is Tony Wilson.
Oh,
who was Tommy Vance's producer.
Yeah.
So he produced our first recordings there. So that was great fun. We spent 2 days recording, and then we went back a week later to get involved with the mix down as well. Spent 2 days mixing it.
Do you like being in the studio?
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Yes and no. I like the process of recording and mixing, especially in those days when it was analog. I mean, it's some of the fun's been taken out of it now, because if you make a mistake, you can just cut and paste the correct one on the computer. But in those days, it was all analog. You had to
Yeah.
what you played was what actually ended up on the tape. So I did like that. I found the kind of pressure and the nerves were much worse than playing live.
Well,
Because when you're playing live, if you make a mistake, it's gone.
It's gone. Yes, one
And
chance and that's
yeah.
gone. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but if you're in a studio and you play and you make a mistake, you then got this awful decision: do you stop? Do you live with it? Do you force the whole band to go through it again? Do you try and do a drop in?
I don't know.
It,
Yeah,
it's a different kind of pressure
Yeah.
to playing live.
Yeah, and of course,
Yeah,
I guess you're paying for it as well, and that's that there's that
Yeah.
pressure when you're
Yeah.
paying 50 quid an hour, whatever it is. I don't know.
yeah, that's it.
And you've got to get it
Yeah.
right, and
Yeah,
that always amazed me with old musicians, like old band musicians, the old big bands and that sort of thing, and they got it right every time because they had to
Yeah.
get it right. They were the
Yeah.
musicians were so good.
Yeah.
There was no room for error. This is
No.
Frank Sinatra will come along and do us. Frank Sinatra can get it right. You bloody better get it right as well. Otherwise you're out the
Yes.
door and you wouldn't get paid. And that's
That's
the
right.
difference, isn't it? Whereas I always remember the Beach Boys taking 6 months to record "God Only Knows" or something, or
Yeah.
what's that other one? I Get Around or something. Well, it doesn't matter. 6 months to record it, and I believe Steely Dan took a reasonable amount of time to make their records.
Yeah,
But
I
I mean,
know.
but they were
It's
top
incredible,
class
isn't it?
musicians as well, though, weren't they? I mean, to Steely Dan,
Yeah,
it's fantastic. But that.
but
precious-
I think the way that people wanted to do it was different. In the very early days, when you had the whole band maybe grouped around one microphone, it was a recording of the performance, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But when they
Yeah.
started using multi-track recorders, you then had lots more options. You could replace individual pieces, or you could put in another guitar part, for example. You'd play one guitar part and then put another one on top. So you got a lot more options offered
Yeah.
to you, and obviously people wanted to use them. So people like the Beach Boys would probably spend a month just recording the vocals, wouldn't
Yeah.
they? They had such
Yeah.
complicated vocals.
Yeah.
They couldn't have done that in the early days with just the one microphone.
No.
They'd have had to do it as they did live.
Yeah.
So it's a totally different thing. I mean, I actually like live recordings, real live recording. I don't know if you're familiar with the Deep Purple Made in Japan
I am.
album.
Oh yes.
I think that
Sweet
is
Child
so
in
much.
Is it Child in Time? Whatever it is.
Yeah, that's on there.
Oh,
I
what a
think they're
track.
so much
Oh.
better than the studio
Yeah.
albums.
Great album. Yeah.
So much energy and power in it, because that's what they did live. Whereas in studio, they're all being very careful and very clean and tidy, and it
that-
just doesn't work for them.
That takes me back to I know I try not to have anecdotes from my existence, but I used to work in a factory that built speaker cabinets and amplifiers,
Oh yeah,
and it was run by Terry Marshall, who's Jim Marshall's son. Because Jim Marshall was in Bletchley, but Terry he broke off and formed his own company called Thor Amplification, and I worked there for a while, and of course it was all young blokes there building these cabinets and the sound system was massive 4x12 stuff like that. I don't know what the next door neighbours or anything, but that I always remember that Sweet Child of Mine. Is it Sweet? Not Sweet Child of Mine. Child in Time. Is it?
Child in Time. Yeah.
Oh, something
Sweet
like
Child in
no, Sweet Child in
yeah.
There's that. What's the name one? With Guns N' Roses. No, it's
That's Guns N' Roses. Yeah, Child in Time. I can't
something
remember
like-
now.
anyway.
I can only think of Sweet Child of Mine now.
but everybody who sang it, and even the high
Yeah.
bits, where you're going to all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. It's a great memory, and
Yeah.
You're right. It's a good album. Good album.
Yeah.
Now, I'm just looking at you shouldn't. Most of the people who watch this watch it afterwards,
Right.
because for some reason a lot of people can't commit themselves to an hour or an hour and a quarter, hour and a half on a Thursday evening or Wednesday evening. They're doing something else. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Coronation Street, is it? It's on a bit-
Is
but
it?
pe-
Oh, is
I
that
don't
still
know.
on?
Yes, very good. Very good.
Is it?
Yes, it's very good. And it is. It's a good It's a good soap. Some great storyline, some great storylines, some very funny stories. Anyway,
Yeah.
but haven't they heard of recorders? You can do that now, can't you?
You can.
So, but I think that's what they do with this, you see, because it's available. Because it's showing to me that there's 2 people watching, and they're very quiet, haven't made any comment at all. So, but if you want to make
That's you and me.
good point. Yeah, I don't think it works like that, and I'm convinced.
Right,
No,
okay.
I think we're okay.
So
if
there
they
are
could,
really 2 people
there
watching. Wow.
there's a couple of people watching, and you know
Great.
what? I'm only doing this because I love speaking to people about music, and.
Yeah.
Hang on, Anthony Jutt, World Leisure. Glad to see you, gentlemen, from Palma de Mallorca.
Oh, right.
So,
International
yeah.
audience.
Oh, yes. Welcome,
Wow.
Anthony. Thanks for popping your name down. It's lovely to see you. I don't know him, but thanks for. I know he's a musician. Let's see. He knows a friend of mine, Aaron Short, who's an American. We know he's from Norfolk.
Okay.
No, Suffolk, and he lives in New York. But he's quite often on his site. So nice to see you anyway, Anthony.
Part of the family now.
Yeah, it's an unusual name. There you go, look.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Anthony Just, World Leisure.
Yeah, it is a weird name.
That can't be his last. It can't be your last name, Anthony, can it? No. But anyway, I think we could have a bit of music because
Why not?
as we spoke before, and I said the people I've had on before, they play music, and the bass solo is not going to be something that's going to.
No, that's not gonna work.
So let's have a look, see what I've got, and you tell me which one you want. I'm just going to. Okay.
Trouble is, all the Underground Zero songs are really long.
Yeah, well, we don't have to play it all.
No, that's true.
Canis
Canis Venatici.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was trying to say. Is one, and we've got 7 Light Years. We've got Underground Zero at the Sonic Rock Solstice you mentioned earlier, I think.
Yeah.
Should we give that one a go?
Yeah.
Hello, Jude. Jude's watching. Hello, Jude. Thanks for saying hello.
Hello. Hey, she's watching.
Yeah.
Hello.
Nice to see you. You could have joined us as well, you know. No, she said, I'm not having any of that.
If she can get rid of the echo on her microphone.
Oh, you shouldn't have said that.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
I did. Yeah, I did tell him, Jude, that we was having problems
Yeah.
with your microphone. Right, here we go. This is we're going to play this one.
Underground Zero!
Yay! Hiya, Michael. Mute me. as we were talking there, Andrew was telling me that probably wasn't the best recording. So I'm gonna we'll do another one in a minute. We got this one. What about this one? Is it going to be Hawkey stuff?
No, not that one.
Not that one.
It's the same song.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
God, I haven't got 7 Light yet. Have I got that one? What about that one? Try that one. Is that the one?
That's the one you've already played.
That's the
That's the lyric one.
Oh, is it? This is not going very well,
Yeah.
is it?
No, it's not going well at all.
But,
You played
but,
that
but
one.
when I played it before, there was nobody here. So.
No Jude's watching.
Oh, and somebody else is watching as well.
Okay.
Hello, Emma.
Hello, Emma. I don't know if she can hear me,
No,
but
she
hello.
can't
Emma.
hear. No, she can. Yeah, you can.
Okay.
You can. When
Oh,
I haven't
she
been,
can.
for some reason, I haven't been muted this time. That's good stuff, isn't it? I thought I had some more of your Underground Zero stuff, but I think I did like the Underground for Africa, the Anglia for Africa one. That's a good one. A lot of energy in that. Come on, because people didn't see this either. Look, come on, look at the energy in it.
Lots of hair.
Somebody be running across the stage. There he goes. Look at that.
There
come
he
on.
is, yeah. We've analysed that shot and we think he must have been suspended from the roof.
There's Sean, about 7 there, isn't he?
Yeah. About that, yeah. 14.
Look at that keyboard setup.
Adrian, that's my brother.
Yeah. Now Michael, who's here, who says doing fine tar, loving the chat, he's also a bass player, Andrew.
Is he?
Yeah,
oh,
he
right,
is.
okay.
Yep.
It's good to know. Some bass players watching.
Yeah. Picking up some
Good
hints,
job
no
I didn't
doubt.
do it. Good job I didn't do a bass solo.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Good stuff. A Rickenbacker.
Yes.
Have you still got it?
Yeah, still got that one. Never going to get rid of that one.
No. Yeah. So, Michael says, I think you can call me a semi-lapsed bass player these days, Brad.
Semi-lapsed.
What does that mean, even? How can you be
Semi-lapsed.
semi-lapsed?
Yeah.
Sounds almost rude, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm sure you're not. Well, obviously we're not. None of us are playing in bands at the moment, are we, Michael?
It's just resting. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Emma has asked a question. Can you tell us about the interesting instruments behind you, Andrew?
Okay. Yeah.
There we go.
I shall start from this side. This is my upright acoustic. I bought that in pieces. It came in a box in lots of pieces, and I put it together as well as I could myself, and then got a local guy who repairs classical instruments to finish it off. And I used that. I played in a folk band for a while, about 20 years ago, and I used that occasionally in that. And I've used it a few times recently as well. It's a lovely instrument. The next one along is an NS Design Omnibass, which is an interesting instrument because it's obviously you can play it upright like that, like an upright bass, but it's got a shorter scale than the proper acoustic bass. It's the same scale length as an electric guitar, so it's easier to play than an upright. It sounds a bit like an upright. It's also got 5 strings, which all the guitars I play these days normally have 5 strings. So that's a really nice instrument for kind of, busking type things. It doesn't make any noise itself. It has to be plugged into an amp. But I've been playing that quite a lot lately. Then we've got a Warwick. This is a Warwick bass. That's a lovely instrument, that one. I bought that from a guy in Norfolk. It almost plays itself. Wonderful instrument. Then we've got my favourite bass, this one, which is a Spectre. Now got a dent in it.
No.
That's a that's a Spectre bass, American. That's a gorgeous guitar, that one. And then the last one is a unique Rickenbacker. It's there's a guy called Tom Rath in America who takes 4-stringed Rickenbackers and converts them to 5-string. And this one he did a complete paint job, different pickups, different bridge, different electronics. And that's a lovely instrument as well. It's really nice to play because it's got a narrow neck, as it was originally a 4-string, but it's 5 strings now. But that's a lovely instrument.
Wow.
Unique, that one.
This seems to be a lack of fenders.
Well, yeah. I did used to. I've had several Fenders, and they are lovely instruments. So I'm probably going to insult a few people now. I went to a bass shop not far from where I live to buy a new amplifier, and I had a Fender, the Deluxe 5-string jazz guitar, and the guy in the shop said, "Oh, you want to get rid of that thing? You want to try some of the more modern instruments?" And I thought, what's this guy talking about? Fender, I've got the top of the range Fender 5-string bass.
Yeah.
How are you going to get anything better than that? And I sort of pretty much ignored what he said. And then a few months later, I wanted a new guitar, and it was a bit odd. I wanted a red guitar. I'll explain that later if you want. And I found on the internet, I did a search for 5-string red bass guitars, and I found a Spectre bass, a European one. And I'd never heard of them, but I thought I'd give it a go, so I bought it, and it was fantastic bass. And anyway, next time I went into the bass shop, I noticed he'd got this one, an American Spectre, and I played that, and I have to say the guy is right. They are just so much better than Fenders. So much easier to play, and the sound is so much better. So I had 2 Fenders at the time. I gave them both to him and bought the Spectre.
Bought the Spectre.
So I've got 2 Spectres now.
And what is your go-to guitar?
I usually rehearse using the Warwick because it's just such an easy bass to play. But when I perform, I usually play the Spectres. When I play for Underground Zero, I play the Rickenbacker. But usually nowadays I play the Spectres because they're just such fantastic instruments.
Michael, if you're still there, what guitars have you got? Just you might want to list them down. It's always interesting because bass players, you don't normally talk to bass players, do you? Unless you're Paul McCartney. But if you know, I don't mean that in any. Well, I don't mean that in a nasty way. What I mean is that the bass players usually the ones that are just playing bass, and you got the lead singer, and you got the lead guitarist, and the drummers, and the bass players just there. Bill Wyman. What's his name?
Yeah, but you take
John
the bass
Entwistle.
player away.
Oh,
Take the bass player away,
know.
the whole band falls to pieces.
Absolutely, no. It's absolutely. It's same. Michael says we're a modest bunch. Yeah, well they are. Yeah. You are. I mean, Godfrey in our band. You got me and Dave, who are fairly well. We're not introverts. Let's put it that way. And Godfrey is completely the opposite. He'll say, he says, well, he hasn't got a microphone anyway because he can't sing, but so he won't say anything all night, but he'll give us looks like this. So while we're as if to say, yes, oh dear, why am I playing with these guys? But yeah.
He knows the truth.
He does, yes, indeed. That was most interesting. Thank you. Thank you, Emma, for thanking us.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm
Good.
glad you enjoyed it.
Good.
Yeah, and your go-to bass amplifier.
I use a Mark bass now. I used to use Trace Elliot.
Yep.
Again, this same guy in the bass center. He he kind of brought me up to date. I had Trace Elliot amplifiers. I had they do quite a nice one with a single 15-inch speaker. I think it's about, I don't know, 200 watts or something. I had two of those. Used to pile them on top of each other, and they weighed a ton. It sounded great, but weighed a ton. And I went into the bass center, and again he said, "Oh, you want to try some of these new amps?" And I tried this little Mark bass. It weighs about a quarter of one of the Trace Elliot amps I had, but it's 650 watts. Really, really powerful, really good sound, but really small. So I got rid of both my Trace Elliots and bought the Mark bass.
Yeah, makes sense. Anthony says he's just picked up a pristine LTD a few months ago.
Ah,
I'm not a bass player per
excellent.
se, but I'm quite impressed. Do you know of the LTD bass? I don't know it because I'm not.
I don't know the LTD bass. I've got an LTD 6-string guitar.
Ah.
That's nice.
Is that a 6-string or a bass? No, it must be a bass.
It's a lead guitar. It's
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
guess.
sort of a Gibson copy.
Oh, right, okay. And Mike says still playing his 90s Green Overwater
Oh,
that I had when we
cool.
first met those years ago. Oh, yeah, when we first met. Yeah. Mike is as part of an online group called the UK Music Group, UKMG, something like that. I can't remember. And it's a bunch of musicians, like-minded musicians, who in the very early days of meeting up, just met up somewhere and had a drink, had a pint, had a meal or something like that. And then it got further than that. It descended into a weekend of music. Just they'd hire out a hall or a hotel space, whatever, kit it up with a PA, and everybody go and just blow themselves away for the next couple of days.
Brilliant.
UKMG, that's what it's called. Yeah.
I'll have to look them up.
Yes, it's there's bits on YouTube of some of the live gigs. I didn't go to any of them, but because I'm not a proper musician.
Well,
no,
so modest.
I can sing.
I thought it was bass players that are supposed to be modest.
No. Anthony says the LTD is a 5-string. Okay.
All right. 5-string player.
Yeah.
I got lots of stick from people when I changed from 4 to 5 strings for some bizarre reason. I don't know why, but
Godfrey plays his
5 strings.
He's got a 5-string Fender Jazz bass.
Yeah.
19 something. And here's a little bit of stuff for you. Jimi Hendrix played it.
Played the 5-string bass that Godfrey's got.
He borrowed it off. He borrowed it off Godfrey. Godfrey was in the audience.
Really?
He borrowed it. This was the marquee, I think, as well, something like that. And he played his guitar, and he's still got that 5-string.
Good
Fender.
grief! Amazing.
Yeah. Now I'm going
to play. Hang on to that.
I think he will. There's no question about it.
Yeah.
I'm going to play some music. What's this? Can you recognise this? Is it coming through? Yeah. Hang on.
Just hear a rumble at the moment.
Yeah. Here's the audience. Live at UEA 1987.
Oh wow, that's
We'll move it on a bit.
That's a whole gig. You're going to play all of it. That's
oh
about
no,
an hour and a half long.
I'll just move it on. Again, not very good recording and some very fancy camera work.
that was just recorded on an old VHS camcorder.
Yeah.
In the good old days, when people had such things. robot.
Yeah.
Solid surface bright. Optics
I'm rocking with this.
Robot don't look white. Built to live 1,000 years. Made to guide
A
and
lot of the songs that
fight.
they did had a sort of science fiction.
Can't turn
to them.
me to flight. I can't comprehend no fear.
Is that a recording? Was it a live one? That
That
Andrew.
was that sounds like a recording. I think so.
it's good sound.
Yeah, I think that was a studio recording.
Yeah. Great stuff. I could play. Actually, I could play your music a lot.
You
'Cause
could.
it's well,
Oh,
it's
good.
only because it's not what I normally listen to. I've got a
Oh,
fairly
right.
eclectic. I don't say eclectic. That sounds really posy. But I've got a big range of music, and
Yeah.
I remember obviously Hawker when they first came out.
Yeah.
What's that album with all the bits on the front? The first album, I can't remember what it's called. What's
The
Hawker?
very first one.
I had it, but I can't remember what it's called.
No.
Okay, it'll come to me.
Not gonna lie.
No. But so I don't normally listen to it, but I've been listening to a lot of this stuff. Stuff. Not stuff. I've been listening to a lot of your music over the last few days, and I really like it. It's good stuff.
Oh, good.
Really good.
Good.
Really enjoyed it. I'll have to come and see you
Good.
live one day at some point.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're just going to pause on Underground Zero a moment because you were in a folk band for a while called Bunty.
Yeah.
I seem to remember
They were Bunty. Bunty wasn't a folk band.
Oh, wasn't it?
No, that was the folk band was called Now Then.
Now then. Oh, you can't
Yeah.
do that.
Bunty was almost a sort of goth band, really.
Was it?
Yeah.
There was a very, very saucy poster or something I seem to remember of everybody in the
Oh,
same.
quite possibly.
That you're all in bed together. With.
Oh, quite possibly. Yeah.
Well, you mean quite possibly? You know damn well
I
what
can't
I'm talking
remember.
about.
That was a while
Of
ago.
course you
too.
can. Oh, thanks, Jude. In Search of Space. That was the one. Yeah.
Ah, yes. That's,
yeah.
She's obviously looked up her
Yeah.
back catalogue of
Memory.
records.
Yeah. In
Yeah.
Search of Space. I
Yeah.
bought that album. Great album.
Yeah.
Because it was they were the after effect from Pink Floyd, I guess, weren't? Do you think they sort of took on? I mean,
they
the
were
early
kind
Pink
of-
Floyd, the Interstellar Overdrive. That's that kind of
Yeah.
era. They sort of
were
expanded
going
on that.
along at the same time.
Yeah.
They hated each other. Pink Floyd and Hawkwind hated each other.
They? That's not very nice, is
Yeah. Well, Pink Floyd were the sort of the posh public school boys, and Hawkwind were the
it? The art end of
secondary
town.
modern boys. And they really didn't like each other at all.
No. Yeah, no, I can see that.
Yeah.
So now then, you've skip. Now then lots of barn dance gigs, and made money
Yeah.
from music for the first. And you did make money from music playing in barn dance.
Yeah.
bands. We used to play
That's-
every weekend.
Yeah, that's the only time I've ever made any money out of music.
Yep, it's true.
Playing in a barn dance band.
And how
It's
easy is it?
fantastic.
Come on, Andrew. How
Very
easy?
easy.
You've just got to play in G or D, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can
that's
play
all.
3 chords, you can
Yeah.
play barn dance.
That's all you can. And you just stand there and you wait for the money to come in, or gorge yourself on the hog roast at half time.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, as a gas.
And half the time the caller's describing to the dancers what they've got to do, so
Yeah.
the rest of the band
Time
don't
you-
have to do anything at all.
Yeah, they'll be
Yeah,
running backwards.
It's great.
Rolling
Brilliant.
fags and drinking and stuff. Caller. All right, lads, you ready? Yeah, because I was a caller, you see, and
Ah, right.
I played as well. I played a bit of squeeze box and stuff, but I was a
Yeah.
caller. And the amount of time I used to have to wake the band up, more or less.
Yeah. They've all gone to the bar. Yeah.
Can we start? All the audience are standing in front like this, waiting to go for,
Yeah,
do-si-do.
yeah.
Can we start? Right. Great.
Yeah,
Great
that was
times.
great fun.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
Great time.
good fun and good money.
Yeah, indeed. So, I'm just looking on your timeline. We went to,
Okay.
you played at your manager's 60th. Oh, you had a manager? You had a manager?
That was Underground Zero, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we didn't. I think it was about 9 years when we didn't play in the 90s or early 2000s or sometime. We didn't play at all. So which is why the barn dance and all the other things happened. But then our original manager turned 60, so we decided to get together and put on a surprise gig for him. So
Oh, how nice.
yeah, so we played. We managed to actually get on stage before he realised what was happening. So that was good.
Oh, that's a lovely thing to do.
Yeah.
And then
So then after we'd done that, we did some more gigs.
You did various Hawkfest. We had a Hawkfest one. Is this one here?
Yeah.
That's the one, isn't it? Hawkwind, Hawkfest. I can see.
Yeah.
Hang on. Hawkwind, Tosh, Teen, Hawkwind, Timberlake, Seth Lakeman. What's he doing there? What business is he as a space cadet? Seth Lake. God's sake. And then Underground Zero there. I see you there. Bush Plant,
Yeah,
Omnia
we were in
Opera.
there.
Oh,
We were in
yeah.
there.
I bet there were some
That was
interesting bands, weren't there, on these things?
Oh yeah, that was a good gig.
Uncle
Huge
Rotter.
stage,
What was
great
he
fun.
like? Uncle Rotter. Did you see that? I don't know.
No idea who that is.
Yeah. Divided opinion. Oh, yeah. Oh, here's one. Tits of Death.
Yeah. Oh yes. Yes. I
Some
remember them.
God, great names. Wonderful.
Yeah.
On Board the Craft. Oh, that was another On Board the Craft. Hang on, I got one of those. There was that one. Yeah, well, look at that poster.
yeah.
That's a proper poster. That's
Oh,
what you
you've done
call a
your
poster, isn't
research.
it? Eh? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Leather Rat. Ooh. The
Yeah.
Moulettes. Harvey Bainbridge. And there you go. Underground Zero. Yeah, some great gigs.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good fun too.
Did you like festivals?
Yeah. Yeah. I do. I prefer that. They're my favourite kinds of gigs, really.
And you know why you
You've
like
got,
them? Because you don't have to do anything.
Yeah, you don't have to hump the
You
PA around. No,
don't
somebody
have to-
else does that
You
for
don't have to turn up, do you? All you got to do is turn up
No.
and play.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Walk on stage, play, walk away again. It's great.
And when you get
Yeah.
a good crowd at a festival, there's nothing better, is there?
Oh no,
Yeah.
no, it's fantastic, and everybody's there to have a good time. It's not like if you play in a pub or something where half the people don't really want to listen to the music;
Yeah.
they just want to go and talk.
Yeah.
But you play at a festival, everyone's there to see the music, so
Yeah, fantastic.
great. You can't really go wrong.
What's hang on. I put something in there. I put what's happening? What's happening there?
Yeah.
You
Well,
you've got crash barriers.
on the wrong side. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I was late or something. I don't know. No, I just occasionally used to do that. Get off stage and join in with the audience. It's good fun. You can do that if you've got a radio guitar, so
I'm just
why not?
yeah, of course. I'm just dropping photographs in, and you can tell. Oh, that was when you played at Terraplane Festival, apparently. No, you played. You supported Terraplane, did you, or something?
No, that
No?
one I think was in Colchester. I think
Okay.
we were headlining there.
All right.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, I think that's this one. This is the one. Look, because it says on the thing I've written supporting.
Oh, that
Terraplane.
one. Yeah, that was at the UEA
That's
in
a
Norwich.
That's a great picture, isn't it? Come on, rock.
Yeah. That was the gig that you actually started playing, which is the whole gig recorded on VHS.
Ah, yeah. Marvellous.
Yeah, that was a good gig.
Uh,
I think it was that one anyway.
oh, that's the. Well, look, yeah,
Oh, that's Stonehenge again.
Yeah,
yeah.
look at that.
Yeah,
Goodness me.
1980. What did we say? 1984 or something.
1900 and frozen to death or something. Yeah, that was the one.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
Yeah. I'm going to put this up again because if Jude's still there, she'll recognise that one. Look at that mask.
Oh yeah,
What beautiful,
Yes.
isn't it? Look at that.
brilliant mask. Yeah, I think that's Colchester as well.
Is it?
I think so.
What about? Oh, I was keen to find out what this one was about.
Yeah. That I don't know if you found it. There's a video called what's it called? I can't remember which one it was now. One of the first videos we shot years and years ago, as you can see by the hair.
Yeah.
Forlorn and Lethal. That's right. I don't know if you've got the recording there. We recorded it in a shed in darkest Norfolk. It was absolutely freezing. Poor Jude had to sing over and over again, wearing just what she would normally wear on stage. So with bare arms and things in this freezing shed in the middle of the night.
Here you go.
That's good fun. Good fun. Oh, you've got it there. That's it. Yeah. That's the one.
Because Paul's left-handed, isn't he? As
That's
I
right.
am too.
Yeah.
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 Good man.
Yeah.
There's not enough of us around.
No. No, he's
Good
a rather
guitarist.
special guitarist.
He is very good.
I don't know if you've seen his videos of his guitar collection.
No, I haven't. No.
I think he's got. I think the last count I heard was 64 guitars.
If you know how many guitars you've got, you haven't got enough.
That's probably true. Yeah. Well, I did say that was the last count I heard. He's probably got more than
I've
that.
got 17.
17.
Yeah, just got to learn to play them now.
Not bad. I think I counted up. I've got 9.
Yeah.
So I'm just a beginner. I don't know if we're supposed to be seeing that, but I can't see it.
No, it's just the
Ah.
it's the video. I can do it, but it won't. Hang on, let's see. There's you.
Yeah, there's me.
Where's? There you go.
Yeah, so that's what the photo was about. We were recording that.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Very cold night that was.
I'll take your word for it. Oh, I see. Yeah, I know. Okay. Now, okay. So, I mean, we've covered most of Underground Zero's career, and you're still going, and you're
Mhm.
still going not only with Underground Zero, but also with another band, and
Chaos.
Chaos. And hang on, here we go. Here's a sample of Chaos.
So the next one, we need some more audience participation.
This is at Stratford-on-Avon. I recognise
3
that.
meters
That's
between
right.
you and anyone else if you're going to join in. And we
During the
might need you to
pandemic.
whistle.
Yeah, that's why
know.
we're like that, because
If you want to measure
normally
3 meters, it looks a bit
normally
like
we're
this.
allowed electric festival band, but
I think they
because of the
know what we need
pandemic,
them
we
to
haven't
do
been able
now.
to do that. So you can see we're all 2 meters
Let's
apart,
do it.
and we're playing through a little battery-operated PA.
Lovely trousers, Andrew.
Subtle, aren't they?
Yeah. Look at that. The sound out of that little Bose compact. Wonderful.
Yeah, yeah. All of us, apart from the drums, have gone through the one little PA.
All the bars are men by the Nile. They got the money on a bet. Gold crocodiles, oh, they snap their teeth on a cigarette. Foreign types with their hookah pipes say,
Oh, eh, oh, eh, oh, eh, oh, eh, oh.
walk like an Egyptian.
And how do you like playing in this covers band?
Oh, it's brilliant. Have you
great,
got any
isn't
of the noisier tracks? Because this is just the pandemic version.
Yeah, no, I couldn't find many. I've got some. I tell you what, I did like your version of Mr. Blue Sky. Great.
Oh,
Yeah, no, really good. I thought it was really good. Very good.
was that the pandemic version or the electric version?
The one with is it a 360? You did a 360
Oh,
camera
yeah,
one.
yeah,
I have. I couldn't find the other one I was looking for. We've got this.
Right. Oh, that's the semi-acoustic version.
Yeah.
It's the thing about Chaos. We do several different versions. We've got the first version you saw there, the busking version, which we can play anywhere just on batteries.
Yeah.
This is the semi-acoustic version where we can do in small pubs or whatever. And then we've got the full-on Ultimate Chaos, which is all electrified and big and loud for festivals. It's a scalable band.
All right. Let's have a little listen. Chaos Covers Festival Band. Yep. Hang on. Whoa.
Whoa.
Wee. And we got this one. Hang on.
It all went a bit wrong there.
Yeah, it did.
Ah, Mr. Blue Sky. Oh, that's the compilation one.
It's a lot of fun, isn't it?
So that's what we'll be like when we can all get back together again,
yeah.
and when we can play to crowds. Hopefully, well, we've got some bookings later this year. Hopefully, they'll happen.
Splendid.
Yeah.
Sounds really good. Do you rehearse much?
Well, we haven't for the last 15 months because we haven't been able to get together.
No.
But we used to try and rehearse at least once a week when we were before this all kicked off. More recently, we've done a lot of kind of individual rehearsing, recording things and then passing them around and playing to them and building them up. So we've done several pandemic recordings where we never got together at all. We just recorded the individual parts and then mixed them together. But the last few weeks, we've managed to get a few rehearsals in, and we're playing in a beer garden on Sunday. So we'll see how that goes. That's the busking version with the tiny PA.
That PA is great. We've got that little one at school. We use that one at school, and I told you earlier I've got the S1 Pro. It's really good stuff. I'm just trying. I'm going through the Chaos stuff on YouTube, and trying to find one that let me entertain you. No, there's not many there that I can see.
No, there should be.
What about this?
So 99 red balloons or something there.
Could see that one. What's this one? What's this one?
I think that was the first.
Okay, we all have guilty pleasures. This is ours. Coming up right now.
I don't know what that is. Oh. Video Killed the Radio Star.
Yeah. He's a fine guitarist, your man, on the guitar.
Yeah. Brilliant keyboard player.
Yeah. This is a good floor filler, isn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah. Not sure where that one was recorded.
Christmas party.
Oh right,
with
that
with
one.
100
yeah,
runners.
That was good fun.
Runners.
Yeah,
yeah.
it was a running club Christmas party. That was good fun.
Yeah.
Oh, that was where I played my plastic bass.
Oh, is it?
I don't know if you can see it. I've got a Perspex bass with LEDs inside it.
Oh,
so. That's good fun. Just comes out at Christmas.
yeah. This is all the songs that get people up dancing and singing, isn't
Exactly.
it? And that's what they want.
Well,
that's what they want.
Yeah, that's what Chaos tried to do. You know, we play the things that everybody knows, but probably a lot of covers band don't play.
Yeah. Well, you've got the flexibility of the female singers, so they can do the Freddie Mercury stuff. Because most people who try and do this kind of stuff with male vocalists doesn't work. It's difficult. It's difficult songs to sing. Yeah. Oh, wonderful. So we're all looking forward to
it's
going
good
back
fun.
again.
Oh yeah, can't wait to get back on stage. Yeah, I think our first proper gig is at Kyneton, which is not far from here. We're headlining at the festival there this year,
Oh,
so that should be
lovely.
good fun.
And there's the Chaos
Yeah.
Band.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
Yep.
I've just been
Yep.
going through your record, not collection. You've done loads of stuff, man, have you? Loads of stuff.
recordings.
Yeah.
Yeah, can
Excellent.
do a lot in 50 years.
40, isn't it?
40, sorry.
Yeah, come on. Well, Andrew, it's it's coming up to an hour and a half. We've been talking.
Is it really?
Doesn't seem
Good
like
grief.
that, does
Oh
it?
yeah, 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Good grief.
I hope you've enjoyed it.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for having me on.
I know you was a bit apprehensive, like most people are. Well, because it's not somebody. It's not an easy thing to do to talk about yourself, is it?
No, it's not. No.
But you
I hope the viewer hasn't been too bored.
No, I don't think so. I've had a great time. I've really enjoyed it. I've really
Good.
enjoyed it. It's again, I'm speaking to you. I don't. We've met. We've worked together on things before, but I don't really know
Yeah.
your background. Now I do.
Yeah.
Mike's off. Thanks, Mike. It's been fun. Good. It has been fun. Thank you. We're just finishing anyway, so thanks for stopping right to the end, Michael. Almost.
Yes.
You have
Well
got
done, Mike.
You have got a pass out. Well done. Well done. And look forward to seeing you soon. Yeah. Where was I? I was saying how much I enjoyed
I
it.
think you were wrapping up.
I was wrapping up. Yeah. That's a technical thing. Hang on. We've got some people that they were allowed to say goodbye and everything. Thanks so much, Andrew and Brad, for a great fireside. Most enjoyable. You're very welcome,
Oh,
Anthony.
good.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for
sit-
coming.
Thanks for sitting with us. It's lovely. And Judy loved
Yeah.
it as well. Thank you, Judy.
Oh, good. Good. I hope I got all the details right, Jude.
Oh, I'm sure she'll put you right if you haven't.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's been fun. I've learnt a lot tonight, and I'm just wondering what we can finish off with. I think we should go with that one again. I like this one.
Which one's that?
It's this one. Hulk Easter 2007. They came in search of coconuts. Oh, there's you on the background.
Yes.
This is the big coming on stage bit, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the big opening. Yeah. That was at Seaton in Devon.
I did a great gig down in that way years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I'd died and gone to Devon.
See what you did there.
Aye.
I think you're going to be here another half an hour before
Oh,
we
is
get
it?
to play.
Is anyone going to come on stage yet?
I think we're all there.
Yeah. Just waiting for the lights to come up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
The big build-up.
Here we go. Yeah, wait till you see the whites of their eyes.
Yeah. Funny you should say that. I think we were wearing contact lenses then, white contact lenses that day.
Really?
As you do.
White contact lenses.
Yeah. White glow-in-the-dark contact lenses.
Fantastic. You see, I'm. Oh, there you go.
There's some black looking back there. Not so much hair in the first anyway.
Great stuff. You know, I'm a huge Genesis fan.
Oh yeah.
Not late Genesis, early Genesis. Peter Gabriel.
Yeah.
Anything past Peter Gabriel is not Genesis, as far as I'm concerned. Andrew, thank you very, very much for joining me tonight. And I've had a
Pleasure.
great time. I hope you've had a great time. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I have. That's been
It's-
great.
And
Thanks.
tell all your friends
inviting
because it'll be up on. It's there forever now. Ad infinitum. You can watch it either on Facebook or YouTube. And no, thanks for allowing me into your home and allowing you. Yeah. I'll get some plaster.
Virtually.
I'll get some plaster on that wall behind you if I was you, though.
Yeah, I will do
Get it
before
finished.
next
Get
time.
it finished off. You know, there'd be trade.
Yeah.
There'll be tradesmen around now.
Okay.
We'll have a little chat after we've gone offline. Here we go.